before the hour to Queen Charlene to talk about Delaney Hall and our National Day of Action next week. All right, so put y'all in the hands of Reverend Dr. Sherry.
Thank you. So I'm Reverend Dr. Sharon, and really quickly with our faith reflection, um, it is one that grounds me. It's something that I recently shared, and it's from my faith, it's from my personal faith, where I'm a Christian, and there's a story about someone in the Old Testament. His name is Ehud, Ehud. And what I like about the story of Ehud is not so much it's not a spiritual story, the part that I'm going to share. It's a story about him tapping into his uncommon ability. Ehud is in a tribe called the Benjamites, and it's a smaller tribe, but their superpower, if you want to call it that, is that most of their fighters, most of their trained soldiers, most of their men are left handed when they go into combat. So the idea is that we use our uncommon ability. So instead of relying on our dominant gifts, our obvious gifts, and what's public facing, what's the thing that we are able to do that most people haven't tapped into and that we ourselves may not have tapped into? And so what I like about Ehud is that his people are under a cruel king for 18 years. And then Ehud gets the call. They're crying out for a deliverer. And so Ehud rises to the occasion. He makes this weapon that's 18 inches long. So I said, well, he was definitely frustrated and angry. He counted the years and he said, I'm going to put an inch on it, on this blade for every year my people have been held captive. And he gets to work and he ends up killing the king. And in killing the king, that's not the significant part. The significant part is that he then goes up to another area and he sounds the alarm and he rallies his people together. He rallies his people so that they can fight and now overthrow the army associated with that king. So he's not a killer. He's not a murderer because a murderer would run. He's not an assassin because an assassin would disappear. But what he is he's an uncommon deliverer. He taps into his left-handed ability because he was known for being left-handed. And that's how he was able to get to the king, was tapping into an uncommon ability. Uncommon ability. So what I would ask of each of us is to think about what our uncommon ability is. So those of us who sing really well, or we're great public speakers, or if we're really athletic, we might tap into those things and lead with them. But I want us to think about what's the uncommon ability. And it's something that we can do, but maybe we have to work a little harder at refining it. So when it's time to use it, we can use it with precision. Because the Benjamites, about 700 of their soldiers were left-handed archers who had hair sharp precision. They could split a hair when they would shoot their arrows, do their bow and arrows. So how do we look at using our uncommon ability to the point that we're using it with, precision, sharp accuracy? So I would invite you to think about that. And if you can think of something now, put it in the chat. So we don't have time to go over them per se, but put it in the chat because that may inspire somebody else to tap into that uncommon ability. So when you think about what you can do in terms of leading your people, think about Ehud, and you can find that if you Google it, you'll find a story, but it's in it's in Judges chapter 3. So that's our reflection for today.